Blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones here, and welcome to the morning tea, where we have discussions of health, wellness, mental clarity in the morning. And we talk about truth in our lives before we go out to the world and the world tell us lies. So, welcome again, and we're going to move on with the 25 days of transformation. And this is actually day number 2, where we talk about the second step is therapy. And therapy is a vital step for your personal transformation and journey. If you find yourself struggling with mental health issues, unresolved trauma, or persistent patterns that hinder your growth, seeking professional help can be a game changer in your life. Together, we explore the biblical perspective of seeking wisdom and guidance, the belief of counseling and therapy, and how to find the right mental health professional for your needs. So, thank you again for coming, and let's get into it. Now, a lot of people don't know, or we haven't spoke on that type of perspective of the scriptures having guidance in therapy. And before we dive into the practical aspects of counseling and therapy, let's just take a moment to examine what the scriptures say about seeking wisdom and guidance. Proverbs 11:14 states, "Where there's no guidance, a people fall. But in abundance of counselors, there is safety." Check that shit out. In abundance of counselors, there is safety. This verse highlights the importance of seeking good counsel and support from trusted individuals. Throughout the scriptures, we see examples of people seeking advice and guidance from other people. Moses receiving counsel from his father-in-law, Jethro. The Bible encourages us to be open to input from others and not rely solely on our own understanding. And sometimes our own understanding of things are not reality. So it's always good to get good counseling from someone, even someone with experience. And that's a key thing too, because a lot of us, we go to people, maybe our friends or someone we grew up with, for advice, and they have no experience in the issue that we're dealing with. So it makes our problems a little more compound. Now let's explore some of the key benefits of counseling and therapy. First and foremost, therapy provides a safe and non-judgmental space to process your emotions and your experiences. It's a confidential environment where you can openly discuss your thoughts, feelings, and struggles without fear of criticism. Psalms 62:8 encourages us to pour out our hearts before God. And therapy offers a similar opportunity to share your deepest concerns with a caring professional. Additionally, counseling can help you gain insight into your patterns and behaviors. A skilled therapist can assist you in identifying root causes of your struggles and develop a healthier way of thinking and responding to your issues. They can equip you with practical coping strategies and tools to manage distress, regulate emotions, and navigate life's challenges. Moreover, a therapist can offer support and encouragement as you work through your healing process. They can help you recognize your strengths, celebrate your progress, and maintain motivation on your journey. Just as 1 Thessalonians 5:11 calls us to encourage and build another up. A therapist can be a source of empowerment and validation. Now, in the Black community, for some reason, we don't utilize therapy. And there's a lot of reasons. One reason is the racial barriers, because it's hard to find a Black therapist, and I'm not saying that, to put down white therapists, but sometimes you have to live their experience. And if you haven't lived the experience, how can you really sometimes give advice? And just the historical racism in the medical profession and the preconceived notions of what Black people are when they really never have had lived the Black experience. So that's one of the reasons it's hard. But other the reasons, like therapy in the Black community is taboo. People don't want to go to therapy, and mental illness is crazy in the Black community at this point. More and more Black men are committing suicide than ever before, and it's not even discussed. It's not discussed in mainstream media. It's not discussed in the Black medical circles like it needs to be. We're right now in the Black America is going through a mental health crisis, and nobody is really taking that on. And then we have generations of trauma, even from slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, failing school systems give our Black children trauma. The high rate of homelessness of Black children give them trauma. And you grow up without unpacking a lot of these things, and you become an adult, and you haven't unpacked your generational trauma. Now, just because you got a good job and you're making 6 figures and you got a nice car and you got the latest fashion, doesn't mean that you're not dealing with trauma, and you're not dealing with the baggage of generational trauma. That doesn't mean anything. You cope with it better because you have money. But I think everybody needs some type of therapy. Everybody. Now, how do we find the right mental health professional? When considering counseling, finding the right mental health professional is crucial. Start by seeking recommendations and trusted sources, such as your pastor, doctor, friends, family members. Proverbs 15:22 reminds us that plans succeed with many advisors, so don't hesitate to seek input from those who you trust. Research potential therapists, qualifications, and specialties to ensure they have experience in the areas that you wish to address. I discussed that earlier. Prioritize your comfort and safety, when choosing a therapist. You should feel respected, understood, secure in their care. Again, you should feel respected, understood, and secure in their care. Not all therapists are good. I'm drinking a little tea on that. Not all therapists are good. Understand that. Now, a lot of us have barriers in seeking help. And despite the benefits of counseling, many people face barriers or hesitation when considering seeking help. These may include the stigma. In the Black community is a big stigma on going to seek help. Fear of being perceived as weak. A lot of men don't go to therapy because they don't want to be perceived as weak. I had one lady tell me, she was a hairdresser, and one of her customers was telling her that her husband was open enough with her to say, I think I need to go seek some type of therapy. And she called him weak. She called her husband weak because he wanted to seek some type of therapy because he felt whatever was going on inside him, he needed to sit down with a professional and work it out. And she called him weak. However, the Bible reminds us that there is no shame in acknowledging our struggles and seeking support. In 2 Corinthians 12, 9 through 10, Paul writes about boasting in his weakness so that Christ's power may rest upon him. By embracing our vulnerabilities and seeking help, we allow God's strength to be made perfect in our weakness. We have to recognize our weakness. And we have to build off that weakness with faith, prayer, fasting, eating clean, and getting counseling, getting good counseling. Remember, seeking therapy is a sign of wisdom and strength, not weakness. James 1:5 encourages us to ask God for wisdom, and in seeking guidance for our mental health professional is a proactive step towards growth and healing. Now, how do we integrate our faith in the therapy process? As people of faith, we have a unique opportunity to approach counseling and therapy through the lens of our faith. While not all therapists may share our beliefs, we can prayerfully seek out professionals who respect and support our spiritual values. Integrating your faith into your therapeutic process can involve exploring the emotional and psychological impact of our spiritual beliefs, examining how our faith influences our decisions and relationships, and incorporating prayer or scripture into the healing process. By bringing faith into the counselor's room, we can acknowledge that the true healing and transformation is ultimately with God. Ephesians 3:20-21 reminds us that God is able to do more than we can ask or imagine, according to his power at work within us. So a lot of it is also faith, having faith, but also seeking counseling. In this 25 days of transformation, we're also going to really focus on how the scriptures gives us that type of guidance. In these days, these next 25 days of the transformational journey of transforming ourselves, faith is the cornerstone. And you could be who you want to be, you could be whatever you want to be, and you could be successful in that. So that's what we're talking about. Transforming our lives in the next 25 days through faith, but understanding the 25 secrets of transformation. And it's straight out of the scriptures. It all gives us the guidance that we need if we just want to understand it. And we just want to reprogram our mind. And one of the steps is changing from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, letting go of some of those beliefs that we have been taught that hinders our growth. This crazy, broken Black culture, society mechanism that is making everybody crazy. But because it's become the norm, we all think it's normal. So thank you again. Thank you for listening. And I will see you tomorrow, God willing. And have a Blacktastic day. And remember, God is in your back.